Alright, this video guide is going to cover Western Mediterranean Spiderweb and iBomber defense. This is naval and aircraft mission. And we're going to start off placing a couple machine gun turrets on these islands here. And the vast majority of the naval ships we're facing in this level are going to make an S shape through the islands. Covering around to where that top right machine gun is before heading to the right. However, a vast minority will kind of make more of an L shape traveling the southern path towards the east. But a very, very limited amount take the northern path only. As you can see, these little boats did just now. Generally, most ships won't. So don't bother too much trying to cover that path right away. Placing turrets up at those front two islands, though, however, which we'll start working on a little bit later, is going to be very effective for this mission. One thing to mention too, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to check the video description where you'll find links to a full guide for the Axis campaign along with the Allied campaign. And there you'll see all the videos, they'll be embedded and have maps, pictures, and tons of information. Definitely worth checking out. Oh, and also links where you can buy the game if you don't own this game already. But placing some cannons on this central island, and we got an inferno turret around that bend there, which is going to make a nice difference for us. And now that AA showed up, or aircraft has showed up, pause the game real quick so that we can place an AA turret, which we're going to keep at level 1 for now. Because like I mentioned previously, funds are pretty restricted in the Axis campaign, and you want to make sure you're spending them wisely, so definitely never upgrade AA before you absolutely have to. Just be quick on that pause button if you're going to be playing at fast forward speed like I do. As you can see, some of these ships get past, so time to rewind. Upgrading one of those cannons to level 2, and sold one of our turrets, machine gun turrets, to upgrade another cannon to level 2. Now that the heavier ships are showing up, so machine guns are less imperative at this point. And it's definitely worth knowing which ships take how much damage to destroy. Like, for example, these smaller vessels only take one level 2 cannon shot, or maybe even one level 1 cannon shot to be destroyed. Whereas these destroyers kind of take a fair bit more than that. But we have our X weapon up, so that's good news, which we've had for a few rounds now, and then we have a second one as well, so as soon as you get these fully upgraded, we're going to see a real shift in the fight here. Naval missions tend to be the most drawn out, simply because you end up facing, like, the last 10 waves will be just a whole bunch of heavily armored ships, but very spaced out, so they take a long time to cross the screen. And as you can see, these videos are actually done at 2 times real speed, so this is kind of 4 times speed now since it's already on fast forward in game. Either way, working on upgrading the turrets around this eastern island here. Got one level 3 cannon, one at level 2, and the level 2 X weapon. Now we're going to start placing a few more turrets up at this smaller island that we had started with a machine gun turret to the left here. We're going to upgrade the AA now because it's necessary at this point. And we've got a level 3 X weapon now, so starting to really dish out damage to these guys. place the third X weapon down now on that smaller island. So once again, like in the previous missions I mentioned before, start to get to that later half, it's all about getting those X weapons up and fully upgraded and fully boosted. And that's what we're doing now. And as you can see, it's paying off because we're stopping the ships earlier and earlier, which is good news as the waves continue, considering that they're technically getting more difficult. Now, as you can see, like I was mentioning, it's one of the rarer Southern Path only ships. But even so, they only come in small amounts, so they're pretty easy to deal with. New aircraft showing up on the side. It's a good time for that next AA turret. And now we've got a second level 3 X weapon. And having them in those positions is excellent because they're both covering the choke point, which is where both paths converge and momentarily, or several paths actually converge momentarily. But you can see all the ships are close together, and with that area of effect splash damage, it's doing a big number on them. Keeping everything repaired right now. And now we've got the third fully upgraded X weapon on that small island. And now we're pretty much destroying them before they even make the full bend. But now we're starting to get to those, as you can see, sparse, heavy ships. But placing another X weapon. Just keep creating these little fire bases. But definitely make sure to keep turrets repaired. And as you can see, I've kind of positioned machine gun turrets, these new fire bases especially, and even with the old one, where the machine gun turrets are the ones that are going to be the most fired upon. So it's basically you want to put them out in center, if possible. And that keeps, more expensive turrets from being damaged too much and allows you to have more credits to put into your firepower, which is always a good thing. And as we're nearing the last 5 waves, this is when things kind of slow down. In a sense where we just start seeing a few ships here and there, but just take a whole bunch of damage to destroy. And of course less credits, because even though they're worth more, it's still less money's worth of units overall. Except for the aircraft level. That's when we start to get some real finances to do some upgrades. And always make sure that you repair everything before you drop a bunch of money on an upgrade. Simply because you don't want to end up with not enough money to repair a turret, then it gets destroyed, and then you start to have some real issues. Beyond failing the ability to unlock the appropriate metal if you're doing this in quick play. I'm not sure you get a perfect rating if you lose a turret in the campaign or not, but I have yet to so far, so. And I know that the game doesn't really count the surprise turret or surprise attacks that destroy your turrets against you, considering you can't really do anything about that. Oh. Alright, last couple waves. A whole bunch of bombers. It's more of the same, really. Just a little bit thicker lines of enemies. Or condensed, or what have you. I'm just going to put our funds now into building that northern island up. Since there's not a whole lot of other space left. But pretty much at this point, with so many turrets and such strong um, enemies coming to us, which, like, these battleships are the real um, beasts. It'll take a lot of money to put into repairs at that point, so it kind of stems your ability to continue building up. Once we clear out these final ships, though, we're done with this mission, though, and we got a perfect rating once again, so that's it. Counterattack time.